Okay, great. And then in case if we have any more people joining, because I saw we had like a few more and then something happened, we could go ahead and maybe retake that. So let me go ahead and share my screen. So welcome to our webinar. Um, we have had two webinars beforehand. So if you're a previous speaker and you're joining again to present, welcome back. And if you're new, thank you so much for joining and taking a chance with us. We are so excited to hear what you have to say. Um, so I typically do a little get to know me before we start the webinars for people who are new. I'm Andra Campos, and I'm the founder of ProjectConnect, and I'm also the founder of Solace for Outdoor Workers. So I do have some experience to touch on for this Empowering Women webinar as well. I've always been interested in empowering women. Maybe it's through a couple of clubs I've started at school, like Girls Who Code, or a club called Girls League, and donating to women's shelters, or through my endeavors like this. Project Connect was really meant to unite more people who didn't have opportunities before or wanted to start their own passion projects, and that includes women. Um, and I also am in STEM, so I'm experienced with the whole woman in STEM thing. I would love to encourage more women to join. So that's definitely some of the things I really am passionate about. And so typically when we do these webinars, we have a networking segment. So it would be great if everybody in the chat could type in their Instagram. So some of you could connect, maybe collab, follow each other. And it would be great if you could mention your organization name and one word that you could use to describe the experience of being a founder of an organization. So for me, that would be amazing. I love being the founder of Project Connect and Solace for Outdoor Workers. It's truly an empowering experience, and I'm just so happy to see everybody get involved. So it'd be great if we could have you do that. And then as the messages come in, feel free to go check them. I'm just going to talk a little bit about why we should start passion projects. Like I mentioned before, it's a very empowering experience, and I'm definitely dedicated to involving more women in STEM, or even in general, just getting them more engaged in their communities. So I think passion projects are a wonderful way for women to do that. And yeah, of course, they're amazing for your college applications, especially when it's something that has a real impact. But it's also just a way for you to learn what you like and what you don't like and make the change that you want to see. So at first, we're gonna discuss facing challenges and how to overcome challenges. I'm gonna have She's Business go first since they have to leave a little bit early. So if you have slides, feel free to let me know, and I'll just stop sharing so you could share your screen.
Hi, yeah, I do have slides that I want to share.
Okay, great.
Are you guys able to see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, hello everyone. I'm Fidan Aliyeva and I am the founder of She's Business, and we're going to be speaking on overcoming challenges. I want to thank Project Connect for this opportunity, and I'm so glad that I'm here at the webinar today, and I'm so happy to connect with all of you. So, meeting the founder and the organization, as I mentioned, I'm Fidan Aliyeva. I'm more known as Fifi with my team members, and I'm a rising 10th grader. I'm based in Southern California, but I'm ethnically Azerbaijani. I moved to the US 2.5 years ago, so this is all very new to me. She's Business is a female student led organization that aims to support and uplift women entrepreneurs. In addition, we provide advice and resources to aspiring businesswomen in order to encourage students to pursue a business path and in hopes of closing the gender wage gap. It was established at the end of March of this year, and we have gathered 700 followers since then. We have reached 3,000 people with the help of Project Connect and have a team of 20 plus members. We're so grateful for all of the opportunities and for being able to uplift women entrepreneurs. Overcoming challenges, the thing about owning or managing an organization, whether or not if it's female led or it's just gender led, is that you will always be facing challenges no matter what. Whether it's struggling to upload on time, communicating with your team members, or even not having any ideas for posts, challenges will always come and go. It's natural, and that's what makes it so rewarding. The challenges we have faced for She's Business have included struggling to post on time, our confidence. We were out of ideas for a while, and we had to um, really brainstorm with the team members. And we also miscommunicated a lot, and there has been outside factors and time zone differences. And we have other athletic things going on, and of course, we're all aspiring women entrepreneurs and we want to be in business, so we're all focusing on school. That's what made it so hard to really connect as a team and also grow our organization. But we overcame that. And I have 3 tips for all organizations to use to overcome such challenges. The first tip is to have patience. Please be patient with your situation. Don't get irritated or anxious in an instant. If it's something you know you can handle it right away. If it's something that will take time, let it be. These things take time, and it's important to really celebrate that. Tip number 2 is to ask for help. Never be afraid to ask for help from family members, friends, or other organizations. They will most likely be happy to assist you. If your problem is searchable, use Google or other online resources to help. And if you're still struggling to upload on time, or if you are in need of team members, you can always reach out to other friends or people from different organizations. Most of them will always be so welcoming and so warm. And that's what I love about this environment and the environment that all these organizations have created. We're just really grateful for that. And the last tip is to focus on your mindset. You have to develop a strong mindset that will prepare you and your team for every challenge coming your way. Everything is mental, and if you have a strong mindset, or if you don't have a strong mindset, it's going to be really easy to get overwhelmed. And to have a strong mindset, you have to focus on yourself, give yourself a break, and just know that these challenges are not too difficult to overcome. They're just a step in your journey. Thank you so much. And these are our contact information if you want to connect with us. Thank you so much. I will stop sharing my screen now.
And thank you for presenting. Real quick, I noticed we had some more people join, so sorry, can we retake the picture again? It would be great if you guys could turn on your cameras one more time, just so everybody could be included. Oh, and then as soon as I said that, one more person clicked off. But okay.
Okay, so I'm just gonna tell you when I take the picture. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you. Let me share my screen so we could see who's up next. So next up we have the Lotus project. If you have slides, just feel free to let me know and I'll let you share your screen.
Of course. Yeah, I have a few slides. I'm going to share them right now.
Okay, great.
I hope y'all see that. Do you guys see that?
Yeah.
Okay, let me just click present. Okay, so okay, before I start, I'm Lavanya Kumar and I'm the founder of the Lotus Project. We're a nonprofit initiative that aims to help build STEM education and resources for orphanage children in third world countries. And we're going to be talking about some of the challenges that we've faced and some challenges that you guys might also face, um, starting your own organizations or passion projects and things like that. So we are fairly new, so a lot of these things are still true for us, but we're going to be talking about just two things today. So our first challenge that was like a big major roadblock for us was basically networking with other people and gaining publicity as an organization, because we started on social media, of course, and we had a problem of not gaining enough followers or like engagement for our posts or our volunteers that we needed. And we would often be shadowed by other larger organizations that have way more followers because they've been here longer or they've like expanded farther than we have. And honestly, I think that this is really just, I think I think these challenges are something that you're going to face inevitably, but I think you honestly just have to power through it and keep on trying your best to reach out to more organizations so you guys can be mutual with each other and lift each other up in terms of engagement and publicity. And I think that once you put your ideas out there, you will gain the followers that you want and you'll gain the support that you want for your project, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be an organization, but whatever it is, and you will be successful in that way. The second big roadblock we faced, or I faced, is the motivation and the commitment to your passion project. Most people have a really good idea in their head, but actually putting the time and effort to execute it takes a bit more effort, and you really have to stay committed to it because this isn't something where someone's telling you to just, someone's basically giving you assignments to do. You have to take the initiative yourself and you have to own it up to yourself to put your ideas out there and cause the change that you want to. So we felt like giving up. Me and my small team that we have, we felt like giving up because we just weren't gaining enough traction, and we were overwhelmed with everything we had to do. Um, that also could be attributed to us not managing our time properly, like the last speaker talked about. Oh, she's business. She talked about not managing your time properly, like you don't get your posts out in time and things like that. And we've totally gotten that too. Um, so I think that these, again, these challenges are honestly just something that you'll get through, because as long as you're truly committed to your project and as long as you're truly like passionate about your passion project, you'll be fine and you will be able to get through these things more easily. That brings me to my last point, is that a lot of people, they end up losing the passion in their project and it becomes sort of a failed passion project that that's just kind of sitting there. And I really hope that this doesn't happen to you guys, because I've seen this happen. But this is like a big thing that's going on with these projects. And I think that I haven't faced this problem myself because I'm very passionate in my cause. But if you do feel like all of the work that you have to do is causing you to lose passion in what you want to do, whether that be an organization, a magazine, a podcast, whatever, then I feel like you just need to take like a small little break, and you have to detach yourself from the seriousness of it, because I know a lot of us want to do these for college applications, internship applications, things like that. And I think that you really have to just find why you started your project in the first place. Like just find why you started what caused you to be interested in that, besides all of the technicalities of whatever you're doing. So for me, that was the fact that I really enjoyed tutoring kids in STEM education via Zoom and like in person as well. So whenever I was whenever I would stress about the technicalities of my organization, I would just go back to remembering that part. And that basically helped me bring the passion back into my project, if that makes sense. This is my last slide, and it's just some words of encouragement so you guys don't get discouraged by all of these challenges we faced type slides. But yeah, while these challenges seem like a huge obstacle in your journey, please don't give up because um, there's always a solution to everything that you're facing. And as long as, again, you have the grit and the motivation and the passion to pursue what you want to do, you're going to be fine and you're going to be successful in your goals. So thank you for listening. I have my organization's Instagram down below, and you can reach out there if you want to connect. Thank you. And thank you to ProjectConnect for giving me this opportunity.
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much for presenting. And I think that it was really important that you focused on that. When you start out, you look at all these other organizations that have so many more followers, but you have to remember that you always have a starting point. Every organization's been through it, no matter how many followers they have.
Yeah,
So it's really important to keep that in mind so you don't lose your interest or your passion.
thank
Let
you.
me go ahead and share the presentation again. Next, we have Dice Online Magazine, and I believe that you guys have slides, right?
No, so
Oh,
we've
okay.
planned a different kind of presentation today. Hopefully to get everyone a bit engaged and speaking a bit more about their experiences.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, just let me find somewhere to put my phone. Hi everyone, I'm Cleara. I'm the founder of Diced. Some of you may know Diced. We are an online magazine, and I would like to ask you all what you think my biggest challenge has been as the founder and editor-in-chief at Diced. Now, this can be anything that you may think within my role, within building my passion project. I'd like to know, because this is something that I've slowly learned in my position, is that your challenges are unique. They are individual to you, and unfortunately, that means sometimes you can't get help from someone else. When I say that, when I started Diced, I reached out to one other magazine to ask for help on what to do. That's not a lot, like, honestly, to admit as the founder and editor-in-chief of an online magazine. But the magazine that I reached out to, the found one thing, and it was believe in yourself. I was told that I'd face many challenges, and when I read the list of challenges that I may face, I'm going to be honest with you all, I was like, I don't know if this is for me. And that probably may scare some of you, but don't let it, because you have to realize that the challenges are individual and unique. And when I say that, in terms of Diced, my biggest challenge right now is figuring out what Diced is. And that probably confuses you all a little bit, I'll be honest, and you can admit that. But what you may know of Diced so far is that we're an online youth-led magazine. We've got a team of about 20 staff, all volunteers, and we're working hard away at issue 1. Issue 1's focused on street art, and I've realized that a greater majority of the audience that I wished to reach isn't interested in learning about street art. It's not for everyone. It's just something that's there in the background of everyone's minds. You know, you don't really think about the graffiti you walk past in the street, or you don't really think about the graffiti that's left on school tables. It's just a bythought. It's not really your focus. And with Diced, I wanted that to be everyone's focus. I'm going to be honest, I've graffitied before. I'm sure all of you have at some point, whether that's scribbling on a table with an eraser, a texter, a pencil, all of that. You've all done it. You've all participated in it, or you've seen someone do it. The action's been performed in front of you. And my challenge is getting people to recognize that this is something that you have been involved in. It is something that you should care about. And when I say that, I mean, I struggle to communicate. And I bet a lot of you are really confused right now. I'm kind of going here, there, and everywhere. But when I made Diced and issue 1 and planned it all out, I didn't plan it out. I dived headfirst into it. I was like, right, I'm doing this. And quite literally in 20 minutes, Diced existed. I'd messaged my one other magazine and I was like, I'm ready to go. I've got this. I don't care what challenges I may face. I need to do this and get this out there. Other people may feel the same as me, and I want them to feel heard and recognized. That has kind of set myself up for failure in a sense of I don't know how to communicate with my audience why they should care. And that's because every one of you is unique and individual. I know some of you, but I don't really know you. I know what you've presented to me, what's available for me to seek within comfort. You know, by that I mean what's available on the internet within reason, of course. But it's just, we're missing a crucial connection. I can see some of you, and I'm excited to see some of you, I'll be honest. It makes me feel better seeing your faces as I'm talking to you. But it's just the connection. I feel that my brand and the magazine is not connecting with our audience. And that's a challenge I think everyone will face, you know, whether personally, professionally, you will always feel that missing connection. And I don't mean in terms of love or friendship. It's just there's something there that something isn't there that should be there. And it's like, if you think about it, if you read a book, say you're reading a real good book, you get to the end, the main character's about to have something good happen to them. It stops mid-sentence. That's it. Where's the connection? Where's the connection for the main character to experience that good and be settled? And I think that's because Diced is online, and as someone who did schooling through quarantine and lockdown, that was horrendous and has really affected my perception of building relationships and partnerships professionally, especially with Diced, is just do it. Honestly, I'm not qualified to tell you you should do this or you should do that. I'm just another person located across the globe from Summit doing my own thing. But the only power in facing any challenge is believing in yourself. Diced wouldn't exist if I didn't go, I can do it. And in 20 minutes, I did it. I've been walking around for 2 years trying to find my something, my missing connection. all I needed to do was really believe in myself. And that's a hard thing to say because, again, challenges are individual and unique. But that's when you can say, I'm individual and unique as well. And you can turn that, you can build that connection between yourself and the challenge, build the bridge and overcome it. It's all within yourself and within the power of believing, as childish and naive as that may sound. I'm sure a lot of founders wouldn't be here today without believing in themselves. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. That was so well put and so encouraging. Up next we have Estrella Connect, and if you guys have any slides, just let me know so I can stop sharing.
Oh, yeah, we have slides.
Okay, great.
Okay. Can you like see it?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so there's a presentation about overcoming challenges. So first off, our mission. We're a nonprofit dedicated to bringing awareness to cultural diversity and educating about it. So talking about different cultures, different types of history, from Central America to China, or even talking about different identities like sexual orientations. And I'm Melanie. I founded Estrella Connect on May 14th. It's actually pretty recent, so some of the challenges that I'm going to talk about are still happening because we're pretty new to this. But I don't want to share that I had this idea like 2023, but I just recently acted it out. So I had time to plan it, and I'm happy that I did. And I've always been like interested in cultures, so that also like has served as more motivation for me. Some challenges that we faced is motivation. In the beginning, when you start a nonprofit or when you start your your organization, you start off with like a lot of motivation because you're so excited and you're kind of like on that adrenaline. They're gonna be great, they're gonna be very successful, and you're all positive. But sometimes you face a lack of motivation in certain points in the journey in which you're like, oh, I'm not seeing the results I want to see. I'm not getting the followers I want to have. And you start losing motivation like that. The way that we faced that was actually, we didn't really focus on followers or stuff. We kind of just focused on having fun. I was lucky that the first couple of people that joined my organization were really fun and creative. So we spent more time like talking to each other and building connections, and having the follower count was like we didn't really check it that much unless like one of us had to like do statistics or something like that. But otherwise, we didn't focus on that. We instead focus more on like learning, and certain of my members are very motivated in learning about their heritage, so that offered more of a motivation. And communication was something that was very crucial in the beginning because you have to outreach with other organizations to share your posts and their stories or connect with them or have events with them. Um, and that's also crucial during the teamwork. You have to communicate with your team to like who's doing what task, when are they turning it in, are they gonna turn it in on time and stuff. And that was one of the challenges because sometimes some of my members would have to change a due date because they were sick or they had an emergency, and we had to grow like flexible. And we did learn how to be more flexible. We had more graphic designers who could back up the main graphic designer so they would have a way to replace one another. And then social media. Social media was actually kind of like something new to me because I never really used it. And using Instagram was like pretty new to me. So ironically, even though I started it, I didn't really know how to use like stories or have like highlights and stuff like that. So I had a friend of mine try and teach me. And so social media was like both a literal obstacle and a figurative as one, because social media has like this complicated algorithm where like someone could post one post and get like 1,000 views or 1,000 likes, and you could be posting consistently and you get like a handful of them. And that can also like lead back to like demotivation. The fourth challenge was pitching, actually. It was such a hard thing to explain to others, like what you're doing. Like, oh, hey, my nonprofit is educating about cultures and stuff because it's such a broad concept. I could be talking about like Chinese or Mexican heritage, and people would be like, well, you gotta like make it smaller. And that was like very difficult because sometimes I would try to explain it to like adults, and it's kind of awkward because I'm like, oh, well, and I go on a tangent and I don't focus and I don't narrow it down. And the fifth challenge was growth. As I mentioned before, growth is very difficult in social media because it's weird how social media works. Some people are lucky and some people are not. And sometimes it doesn't even matter if you like are consistent or not. Sometimes you can just post like once a week and you get more followers than the person who posts consistently. It's also growth on like your own team. At the beginning you kind of like took it on like you're doing it for fun, or maybe you're doing it like very seriously. But as you grow, you start to realize how like impactful you become, or how your organization is actually creating the impact that you want and how it's growing and you're being more involved with other people. And then I want to focus on two main challenges that have to do with our nonprofit. So the first main challenge, I guess, is stereotyping. Sometimes being part of a minority or like a community where like not a lot of people are like well known, it can often have consequences from like being disregarded to facing opposition. It can like lead to people thinking like, oh, you're from this heritage, so I'll expect you to be like this. And that sometimes like makes you feel so bad because you feel like you're in a box. You're just stuck there and you can't express yourself. They just express you for yourself. They talk about you without getting to know you, and that damages your reputation and also yourself. To dissuade these sorts of situations, in certain cases, communication is very important. You could try and explain your differences and educate them if that's possible. In other cases where it's more serious and there's no way to get them to understand you, you have to report them because they might be able to do it to someone else, and that can damage the whole environment. So if you face this problem in a community environment, so maybe at school or during an event that you're presenting, if you don't talk about what they did to you, they could do it to someone else, and that could lead to like a lot less diversity and a lot of less people being heard. And then the second one is lack of understanding. So having a stable support system is really important, but this is easier said than done. Being responsible for leading a nonprofit can be rewarding, but it's also tiring because it's something, as I mentioned before, hard to explain to others, especially if like your topic is very unique. You have trouble to like express it to others, especially like to your family sometimes. If it has to do with your culture in certain cases where they have no idea what you're doing, and but they're trying to be supportive, but they don't understand it, and you feel like they're supporting me but they have no idea what I'm doing, so I can't really talk to them because they don't understand certain maybe like social media and stuff, or they don't understand what I'm doing. They think it's like more of like a hobby sort of thing instead of something that's actual like impacting people from outside my community, from maybe all across the globe. So sometimes parents can support you and they mean the best, but honestly, you have to create a support system where like you can understand each other. And even if like maybe you have different goals, maybe your nonprofit's like health and their nonprofit's like business, you can still have reliability on each other and be able to connect with one another. So that's all for our presentation. This our email and our Instagram. And that's it. Oh, and thank you, ProjectConnect, for having us.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing. And I really loved your slide talking about lack of understanding. That's exactly why I created Project Connect, to make like a network of people who knew what you were talking about. Because when I started my nonprofit Solace, I told my family, and even my most supportive family members were like, don't do it. We don't know anybody in the field of making nonprofits or anything like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, so I really wanted to make a place in a community where people could do that despite all odds, despite what people sort of thought. And also, your slide on stereotyping is also important, especially for empowering women, because there's so many stereotypes that can be applied to everybody. So that's really important. So thank you so much. Let me go ahead and share our next slide. Our next speaker is Youth Initiative CD. If you have some slides, let me know and I'll stop sharing my screen.
Yeah, I actually just have one slide that I'll put up, but if I can find it here. So I just threw together a little slide for you guys just so you could have a visual. But my name is Rachel Bagara, and I am the founder of the volunteering organization Youth Initiatives and Community Development, formerly known as Youth Initiatives Durham. I'm also a concurrent education student, so I'm in the teacher's education program at Queen's University with a major in physics and a minor in French. On top of my extracurriculars, I'm also involved in a couple of Queen's clubs, and I'm also the founder of Smiles for Seniors Card Drive, which is an initiative that focuses on um, providing handmade cards to seniors and making sure that they feel engaged and seen as members of our community, as well as the co-founder of an organization called Raw Student Education, where we, myself and actually one of my friends from Queens, who's in a chemistry program with a minor in math. She couldn't be here tonight, but she just wanted me to mention, her presence as well. But we founded Raw Student Education to help bridge the gap between first year students and high school students. We did notice that there was a huge transition when we came to university, and we wanted to make sure that we helped out, incoming students, especially at some of the top institutions in Ontario, because a lot of high school students want to go to Queen's University or University of Toronto, University of British Columbia, and they're really competitive to get into. So we just wanted to provide some resources and help them out. Also give them just a great visual into what it looks like as a student in that program, because I had a lot of friends who were really indecisive in what they were wanted to do. So we just thought it would be a great way to do it. So kind of piggybacking off of what some of the other speakers have said, it can be very challenging to run your own not-for-profit, especially as a student at the same time. I originally started my volunteering organization when I was in high school in, I want to say grade 10, just finished grade 9, beginning of grade 10. It was the middle of the pandemic and I was feeling disconnected from society. So I put out a call asking for people to donate granola bars in order to help those facing food insecurity and homelessness in our community. Ended up collecting over 26,000 granola bars. It was crazy. It was absolutely insane. It was not what I was expecting. And from there, I just kept going. The Instagram page kept throwing up new things, and people got involved. And suddenly, I was welcomed into this community of many other not for profits and different organizations. Not saying it's all sunshine and rainbows. There definitely have been some of those challenges where like I've had to put my volunteering organization on hold, and it's felt like it's suffered because of that. I do have a team that I work with as well, but some of us are the exec team are actually all now graduates from high school, so we're all in university or college, so we're a little extra busy or a little kind of that different type of busy. The rest of our team is all high school students, so you guys know how busy it can be when you're in school from 9 to 3 every day. A lot of the best advice that I've come to realize or that I've been given over the couple years that we've been operating is just to like make sure it's something that you're passionate about and don't feel guilty for not being on, being on it every single day. You are an individual kind of before your organization came along. So in order for your organization to work and be successful, you need to have that passion within yourself and you need to feel confident and happy as a person. if you're, struggling with mental health, or you're just super busy because it's exam season and you can't make that post that you scheduled, on your calendar saying, I'll do it, or if you fall through on an event because you had low registration numbers and you just weren't able to do the marketing, it's okay. It happens. And to not beat yourself up over it, or to not feel like you've just, let your community down. I mean, honestly, a lot of people, from what I've found as a response, is they don't really care. They kind of look at it more as an event that they're going to go to, and then they change their mind at the last minute, and that's when they pull out, and registration numbers get low. I've had it happen. I've had it happen numerous times, actually. And at first, I was kind of embarrassed, thinking it was on me, and I was like, oh, what have I done wrong? Like, we have 1,000 followers, and I have 2 people attending a virtual event. Like, I just, all these kind of outside factors, I let them influence my passion for my project, and I got too caught up in those things. And that's kind of when my organization started to fumble a little bit. But now that I'm kind of back, and I'm realizing that, like, I have just such a joy of giving back to individuals and making those connections, that I'm able to integrate my work into my passion, if that kind of makes sense. Just an example of this is, I work full time with a not for profit, and then I do tutoring in the evenings. So I'm busy every day of the summer, even into the evenings. I also play competitive soccer on the side. So it's absolutely crazy. I barely have any free time. I'm always busy, and I love it. What I've done, though, in order to be able to still, maintain an online presence and be there and put out new initiatives and make sure that everything's working on this end, is that I've started to kind of merge some of those things when I can. So working with my not-for-profit and saying, hey, would you mind if we tag along to your in-person event and had a card making event on kind of the side? And I know, circling back to kind of the idea of some people don't understand sometimes, is I've had a lot of adults and just family members and stuff tell me, well, why aren't you doing it for money? And why isn't, like, your time, like, you're busy, you need to be focusing on your studies, or you need to be making money to pay for your studies. And I think at the end of the day, they can be right, but I need that outlet where I can feel connected to the community and showcase my passion, which I think is something that each and every one of us has. We have that passion, however niche it may be. So I think really holding on to that and not letting people influence how you view your project or how you want to manage your time is really, the biggest piece that I want to leave you guys with. I don't want to blab on too much more about myself or my organization, but I just want you guys to have that confidence that, regardless if you're, a Queen's student or a physics student at one of the top universities, and you have so many classes, you have 5 back-to-back classes a day, you're never free, or you're that student who always likes to read books and is always looking for that next story. Doesn't matter what you do with your time, as long as you feel passionate about what you do and feel that you are using your time to the best of your abilities. That's my key. Thank you so much, ProjectConnect, for having me. Again, this has been wonderful. If you guys want to reach out, you can find me on social media, LinkedIn, email, Instagram at youth.initiatives.cd. I'll also put that in the chat before I pop out, but thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for your presentation. And I just wanted to say, in case you didn't see the chat, majors in physics and chemistry that you mentioned your friend is in, you guys are insanely smart. So kudos to you guys for handling all those things.
We'd say smart or crazy, but we haven't figured it out yet.
Yeah, so thank you so much. And next up, we have Empower Her Nonprofit going a little bit early since they have to leave as well. So it would be great if you could go ahead and share your slides.
Thank you. Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. Hello, we are Empower Her, a nonprofit organization committed to empowering young girls in India by promoting education. Our mission is to address the challenges hindering women's education in India and ensure that every girl has the opportunity to attend school. Through our initiatives, we strive to make a meaningful difference in the lives of these girls, enabling them to build a brighter future through education. Anyways, let's get to the Q&A. Okay. Question 1. How to start your own organization if you're interested in doing so? You can start by creating a social media account for your nonprofit or like passion project or whatever you're trying to start. Creating a social media account allows you to spread awareness about your cause, and it allows you to spread word about your organization and allow you to gain followers and etc. You can also ask other people who started projects, their own projects for tips and information. Like ProjectConnect, many organizations normally would love to help to give advice on tips on how to help grow your organization and cause. One last tip is research and post regularly and do not give up. Researching always allows you to see what cause you're really passionate about creating, and you can create your organization through research, basically. After researching, posting regularly on social media will also allow you to grow your platform and really spread awareness about your cause. And finally, do not give up. It takes time and dedication to start your own project, and it's okay to ask for help when you need it. You can ask us anytime as well, but yeah. Question 2, how to spread awareness and market your organization. Okay. Posting regularly again, it allows your community to see what you're exactly trying to do with your organization, and the more you post, the more like I think followers you'll gain. But I don't think it always works like that. But posting regularly will like obviously help people see what you want, like you're trying to like spread word of, and what you're trying to change in the world. Hosting events in public areas also helps a lot. This allows people to see what change you're trying to make in and helps your community have hands-on experience, and it allows you to educate the public about your cause. And posters and papers is also a great way of marketing. Like if you see a poster at your local supermarket, like of course you'll see it and be like, oh, that's a great idea, right? So this is like another way to allow your community to see what you're doing and also can cause them to donate or volunteer or support your cause. The last question is how to get venues in public areas or events. You can cold email. Cold emailing actually definitely it sometimes works. Like it causes a greater chance for you to be able to host an event in that area that you might want. You can booking months in advance is like the best because public places typically get booked like, very quickly. So contacting your city or the area's website and claiming the spot months before it will help you book that spot. And researching places, it also helps a lot because you have a greater variety to the venues and you can see where more people are and how much more people would benefit in one area than the other through your organization. Thank you so much, ProjectConnect, for having us.
And thank you so much for giving your tips. They're definitely going to help out a lot of people who have a lot of questions.
Thank you.
So next up we have Med Discoveries talking a little bit about fields where women are underrepresented, giving some stats and things like that. So if you have any slides, just let me know and I'll stop sharing my screen.
Yeah, I do have some slides that I would like to share.
Great.
Just wondering, can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So, hi everyone. My name is Nathila Vijayan, and I am the founder of Med Discoveries. I have been on one of Project Connect's webinars before, and I was really excited for this, so I really wanted to hop onto this one as well. So let me give you a little bit of background about what Med Discoveries is. Basically, it's just a platform where new medical discoveries are posted. So right now, currently, it's basically posted every day because there's so many new discoveries that's happening, and I feel that they're so important to share with my community. So basically every day. And it's also giving more exposure to writing articles for high school students because in my high school, there's not really a lot of opportunities to be able to write research articles about, like, let's say in any kind of field. So honestly, I'm really interested in the medical field, so I started this platform. So I just wanted to share a little quote with you guys from Marie Curie. Each time a woman stands up for herself, she stands up for all women. I think this quote is really empowering to myself, and I hope that it inspired all of you guys too. So for Mad Discoveries, you can find us on the social media apps listed below. We have it on Snapchat, on Instagram, and on WhatsApp. So on Instagram, my main platform where I post all of my stuff. And honestly, if you want to reach out to me, I think that's the best format. On WhatsApp, I just have that because my grandparents and uncles from India, they really want to see what I'm doing, but unfortunately, they don't have Instagram. So I decided to create a WhatsApp as well. So if you're interested in partnering with me, please DM me on Instagram at MedDiscoveries. And if you like my posts, please like them and follow me if you like my blogs. So blogging creates a platform where you can connect with like-minded individuals. You can engage with readers who share your passions, learn from their experiences, and build a supportive community around your blog. Your ideas, whether in art, science, technology, or any other field that excites you, have the power to shape the world around you. Starting your own passion project isn't just pursuing interests, it's about unlocking your potential and leaving a meaningful mark on your society. Okay, so now onto the job market. So for women, actually from before, there's been a huge increase in the job market in between women and men. There's a lot of equality nowadays, but unfortunately, in some of these top three fields, such as the healthcare field, about only 25% of all of the positions and senior positions is where women occupy. And the rest 75% men occupy the senior positions. And also women make 25% less amount of pay than men do in the healthcare field as well. But one good part about it is, though, women are dominating the nursing part in healthcare. And in the computer science field, there's only 20% of women that are in computer science. It's a very men dominated field, in my opinion. And the men to women ratio in computer science is 3-1, which in my opinion is pretty low. So, and also the next one is astrology. Only about 16.6% of the workers are women, which honestly, when I saw that, I was really shocked. Can you imagine? Only 16% are women and the rest are all men, which honestly, I was really shocked about that. And also in this field as well, women earn less than men. So, for example, like for a man's salary, about $100,000 per year, a woman only earns $89,000, which there's not much of a far gap, but at the same time, there is a gap. So I just want to leave you guys off with, I know women have gone so far from where it was before, from not even being able to vote to being almost as equal to men, but unfortunately, that we are still lower in terms of men in the job market, which I hope that as generations go continue and we all together can join and we can make men and women job market equal in the future. Thank you so much for listening to my presentation. Any questions, thoughts, and feedback that you would like to comment? Okay. If no one wants to share anything, I'll stop sharing my screen. And once again, thank you so much, ProjectConnect, for allowing me to hop on in this webinar.
Yeah, that was a great presentation, and I definitely felt those stats as an aspiring computer science major. I didn't even know the ratio was 3-1. That's insane. But I'm happy to say that the field, all of these fields where women are less likely to be in, it's definitely growing, and we're definitely seeing an upward trend in that. So these stats were so important for you to share. So thank you so much. And then also thank you for your encouraging words as well. Those were amazing.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Now up next, we have Fleen Magazine sharing some more words of encouragement and how to surpass these challenges too. If you have any slides, feel free to let me know.
Yeah, I do have some slides.
Great, thank you.
Okay, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm Aradhya, the co-founder of Fian Magazine. So first of all, what Fian Magazine is, it is a magazine which aims to connect people from all around the world with like a diverse variety of content. So we have got content for literally everybody who is following us. So we aim to connect people from around the world. So that's why our content is so diverse. So today I'll be sharing a few with you guys a few words of encouragement if you're looking to start a passion project of yours. Okay, so the first thing I want to share is always remember why you started. So I'm saying this from a personal experience. There will be a lot of times when you will be second guessing yourself that why am I even doing this? And it all was so easier without having to do this, without having to worry about a passion project of yours. And at those points, you should have something to motivate you, something to keep you going. And your friends or your family might not be the ones always there. So you should always have a reason that will keep you going and that will remind you why you started in the first place. Second thing is, if your roadmap is clear, there's nothing going to stop you. So we all know how important a rough sketch or a game plan is in a passion project. If you're just starting, if you have got a clear vision and you don't know what to do, I suggest that you guys write it down on a piece of paper or in a document and do it all step by step, because that overwhelming feeling is something that we all have experienced, and obviously you don't want to give up even before you start because of that feeling. So having a roadmap is quite important if you don't want that to happen. Third thing is trust yourself that you are ready for the challenge that you will be facing along the way. So as previous presenters have shared that there will be challenges, and they have also shared how to face those challenges. It is 100% true that there will be challenges. So as a founder, you will have to sacrifice your free time. You will have to learn new things, new skills urgently. You'll have to wake up at nights and midnights doing work for your passion project. You'll have to brainstorm like 24 into 7. And the most important, you'll have to stand in bad positions at times and make tough decisions for your project, for members of your project and those things. So it just teaches a lot of skills, but at the same time these challenges can be intimidating and you guys can be like, I don't want to do this anymore, or it can get over your head. So it's important to do it step by step, think calmly, and you should always trust yourself that I'm going to find a way out of this and it's nothing big. So having that trust in yourself is very important. Last thing, it's never too late, but it's now or never. So if you're a person in college, or if you're a person who is uh, in the office maybe, or if you're in school, it's never too late or never too early to start. If you have got an idea, that's all what matters. You can start like anytime, but also it's now or never. Some of us might procrastinate, like I'm in this year of school, next year I will be in college, so I can start right then. Or you might be like, I'm in third year of college, next year I will be in fourth, so I can start like that year. So that is never going to happen, because that year you will be saying like, this year I'm going to have to search for a work, for a job, so I might not do it this year even also. So it's the right time is never going to come. So it's important when you feel like, oh, it's the time is now, you should like not be like procrastinating. You should grab that chance and start making a road plan, a goal map, like I told you before. And you should like start at that moment, and if you are passionate for it, I know you can do it. So that was all I had to say. These are our socials of Fian Magazine. Our
first issue is coming up soon, so you guys can check it out. Or also, and also if you're a passion project who is starting a new magazine or maybe a non-profit, then you guys can ask us or DM us for collaborations or tips to on how to start, on how to promote yourself more, how to grow more. We'll always be there for you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your wonderful presentation. Those tips were definitely very useful. Let me go ahead and share my screen so we could see who's next. Oh, actually, just to clarify, we do have a few people who couldn't be here, but they wanted to make some videos, so I'm going to go ahead and share those. First, we have Teen Animals, the scientists.
Hey there, I'm Valerie, the president and founder of Teen Animals, the scientists, and I would first like to thank ProjectConnect.
Wait, sorry, I just want to double check. Can everybody hear? Because last time we had our call, we had a few issues with the sound. Okay, great. Thank you so much for letting me know.
For allowing us to do a sharing here. And apologies for not being able to come to the events because of the time zone differences. So a bit more about Teen Animals, the scientists. It's a youth-led organization that aims at promote SDGs through different means, such as science podcasts, science workshops, and science fairs, as well as online debate sections. And we also routinely collaborate with different organizations, both locally and also around the world. For example, we have collaborated with over 5 organizations on creating Instagram posts already, and we are already in progress concerning more collaboration with other organizations. Besides, we've also held a neuroscience course with over 5 science organizations back in March as well as April. Besides, we have attended some summits and conferences, both face-to-face in our own country, as well as through online means, such as joining the webinars held by ProjectConnect. So even though Teen Animals, the scientists, is just led by teenagers, we feel that we are making an impact, especially when we start working on face-to-face events. We realize that we have inspired the teenagers around us, and basically we see them eager to join us in order to share to the public about some science resources. And upon seeing our increasing number of followers on Instagram and also on our page, we understand that more people begin to care about our mission, which is to promote sustainable development goals. And one of our recent events was the organization of a science fair in a local primary school. And we feel that it is indeed a success because there were hundreds of children lining up at our science fair with their parents. And their amazed face after seeing our experiments, including my favorite one, which is turning the brown iodine solution into colorless with simple materials like orange juice. And we know that the kids' happy face can truly light up our days. We understand that if we continue working hard and showing commitment in our mission, then we will be able to create a larger impact. And the impact increases when we communicate it and collaborate with other organizations. So basically, we're forming a huge network of like-minded people who aim to create a better world, a better future. And when more people turn in, the impacts will be doubled because we could kind of exchange our ideas and we could support others when others are in need. For example, when we are supporting other organizations' posts, we are actually trying to increase their speed as well as to increase the public awareness of their causes, such that we can mutually grow our organizations. We hope you could also connect us on Instagram at Teen Animals the Scientist, and we can look forward to collaborating with you or simply mutually supporting each other's posts. Thank you.
Great, and then we have one more video that's up next right now. And it's from Up Next Scientists.
Hey guys, my name is Dhruti and I am the Executive Director of Up Next Scientists. And if you guys are not familiar, Up Next Scientists is this 501(c)(3) nonprofit organization that we created back in December of 2023 that basically aims to provide research opportunities to students all around the world. So this is in terms of like scientific research. So we teach our cohort members how to write like research articles, literary reviews, research posters, like infographics, all of that stuff. And in a lot of these cohorts, members kept asking me, like, what's a challenge you faced in kind of the founding of this organization? I think that is such an important question to ask because I know that not all of us face the same challenges, but in the case that we ever end up doing so, just like knowing what other people did to overcome these challenges is good because you might need it. In your arsenal in the future. So my answer to this question has always been time. And I would say this is partly due to the fact that we had wanted to create this organization back in August of last year. And we just like procrastinated so much. We kind of landed on December. And that is kind of when we're like, you know what, this needs to happen now because we wanted to do like hiring in like January for the officer board. And so everything became really, really packed around December. And that is, of course, due to like the procrastination. The work was kind of meant to be split out over like the 4 months from like August to December. But it is what it is. We ended up at around December. And there was so much to do because I remember like I was making our finding board role positions like description document. And like I'd write a paragraph and then I'd realize I need something else. Like maybe I need to go and create the logo, or maybe I need to go and create the slogan. So it was just kind of like a lot of these side quests when I was trying to make one document. And that one document ended up taking me hours and hours and hours to finish because there was just so many branches and like stuff that I had to like complete before I could finish that document. And so the time commitment during that, like I remember it was like my winter break, there was a lot of work to be done. I was spending like 6, 7, 8 hours maybe per day on it. And then in January, when we were hiring for our founding board, we had our own, I want to say like 50 interviews, and I was trying to cram all of that in 1 or 2 weeks. And so obviously, as you can probably imagine, my schedule did get a little bit tight. I remember I would come home from school after like sports practice, and then it would be like 6 hours of interviews. And so yeah, don't get me wrong, I love doing this. That is why we're here right now. I think that time is obviously such a big factor in our lives, and sometimes it can get out of our hands. Sometimes we cram too much into our schedule before even realizing it, and then it becomes kind of a problem for us. But my advice for anyone who's kind of facing the same problem as me is that it is going to pass over. So right now, I spend around maybe 1 or 2 hours a day on Up Next Scientist, and that's partially due to the fact that I have such a great founding board helping me out, as a result of all those interviews. And so we kind of split the time commitment between all of us, and it makes the job and the process so much more easier. And so, if I had looking back on like myself in like January, I don't think I would have thought that this would be where I'm at right now in terms of like time commitment. But like trust me guys, it does get easier, and the time that you invest right now is only going to show up later on. It's only going to show up in your work. It's only going to show up in your schedule later on. And so and just powered through it. You know, in terms of like procrastination, my biggest tip is just thinking, I am simply deciding that. So this kind of like mindset where I like force my brain to think that there is no other like option but for me to finish this task, this project, this piece of homework. It kind of works for me because it just basically like trains my brain to like focus. I'm simply deciding that. So I just like tell myself that. And you know, obviously procrastination, you can't like fully control it, but that and like also like setting a reward for you once you're done. Like for example, I would go watch like an episode of my favorite TV series after I finish like a certain amount of tasks. Those two tricks really helped me. And then in terms of time commitment, just finding ways to split the work as much as possible. So whether that means hiring more people, whether that means like splitting it out between days or doing something like before you go to school and do something after you go to school, it will all make the work seem less. But even if there is a lot of actual raw work, trust me, like it is going to help later on. So that is my advice to you guys. And thank you for the opportunity to speak at this conference. I wish you guys all of the best and good luck with all of your endeavors. Thank you.
Okay, and then I believe Well for Women did have to leave, but Vanilla Script, if you have any slides, just let me know and I'll stop sharing my screen.
Yes, I do have a couple slides that I want to share. Okay. Let's go ahead. Okay, hi everyone. I just wanted to put a couple words of encouragement for all the girls and ladies that want to start their own organizations. And this is just a little message from the Vanilla Script. Firstly, my name is Ariel, and I'm the founder of Vanilla Script, and I'm really honored to be here to provide you with these words of encouragement. And I really hope that I can leave a positive note on a lot of you here today. But I first want to start with saying that starting an organization is not the easiest thing. I think we all know that. We've heard from multiple organizations that have presented before me. And I really feel like we need to give ourselves grace before we can even criticize ourselves, especially. You know, we've all been there where we tell ourselves, oh, I can't do this, I'm too young. But I feel like we need to stop saying that we can't do it because we absolutely can. And for a lot of us, it's a balance of work or school. But I feel like we can all do it if we put our mind to it. And I just want to give you what I believe is the best recipe to not only starting an organization, but also having a successful one at that and being able to balance it. And this recipe only has one ingredient, and that is networking. You know, I think it is the best way to not only start your organization, it brings in so much that you can do to build your community of people that support you, people that understand you. It provides support that you cannot even imagine. I mean, I started Vanilla Script around April, and the community that I've built, I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. So I urge you all to go out there and actually start networking. Even if you get rejected, even if people don't respond to your Instagram DMs, that's okay. You know, rejection happens every single day, and that's fine. It's just a matter of taking it like a slap on the wrist and moving on. Because what else can you do? You can't change their mind. But there's someone out there who will look at your project, who will look at your organization, and will tell you that, wow, this is actually such a beautiful passion project, and I love how passionate you are about it. I absolutely want to support you. Now, there are a couple of hiccups that we're all going to face. And I think the biggest obstacle when it comes to it is, again, rejection. And I think also the balance of school, we're all very young. I don't think anyone is working. I think a lot of us are still in high school, a lot of us are still in college. But I'm confident to say that I think we can all do it. And I believe that overcoming an obstacle is just trial and error. You're gonna try something. If it doesn't work out, try another thing. If it doesn't work out, try something else until you find what works out for you, and then stick to it and build on that, because obstacles always come with solutions. Yes, it takes a couple times for you to actually get the solution right, but that shouldn't be a reason why you stop your passion project, or let alone the reason why you don't even start your passion project to begin with. And this actually brings me to my next segment, which is building that supportive community. I would like to think of this community as your own little cheer team, except instead of having the little pom-poms, you have people reposting your Instagram on their story. And I think we like to overlook this supportive community, but we shouldn't. You know, building this community, networking is key. You know, attending these events, and I think we can all take the time to thank ProjectConnect, because they basically give us this key with their networking. So whether you're just starting out already on your passion project journey, I believe that hard work, determination, maybe just a dash of humor, you'll be fine. You will live, you'll survive. If it doesn't work out, you just try again. And I would like to leave you with a little bit of words of encouragement as you embark on this exciting adventure. Always keep in mind that you are capable and you are strong and worthy of the success of having your own organization. So just go out there and with the biggest smile on your face and make sure that you leave your mark on the world. And with love, I wish you the best of luck from the Vanilla Script. Thank you.
And thank you so much for presenting. Your slides were so beautiful and so thoughtful. I believe we have one more. So if you could stop screen sharing, so I could share my screen, that would be great. Here, and this is a video from the Stress Press project that couldn't be here but wanted to present.
Everyone, my name is Paige, and I'm the founder of the Stress Press project. I'm so excited to be here, and I just wanted to give you guys a few words of empowerment today. So, I started Stress Press 1 year ago, and I'm currently going into my junior year of high school. So, I started it this summer before my sophomore year. So, the Stress Press project basically aims to help you cultivate long-term motivation and overall have better mental health through holistic living and healthy habits. So, a little bit about how I got this project started and how I decided I wanted to start this kind of project was realizing that I really loved to tutor and help people one-on-one and interact with them. I'm part of a few team sports at school last year, including basketball and dance, and I had a really great time getting to know people on personal levels and creating those relationships with them. Then from there, I realized that so many people are so busy, they're procrastinators, they don't know how to manage their time. And something that today's youth is really missing within school systems is learning how to manage yourself, how to schedule yourself, find balance, find passion, and do the things that you love. And ultimately, that's what the Stress Press project is really about. So let's just move forward. And I really wanted to emphasize the stress of starting, and actually starting is so scary because you have no idea what the turnout will be, whether how your audience is going to receive it, if your audience is even going to get to it. And I definitely struggled with that, and that's how I procrastinated on starting my project so much. So I think one piece of advice that is really valuable is just starting, whether it's something small and whether you're not sure about it. Because if you're passionate about it, all of the stuff like how many people follow you, how many people use your website, those things don't matter. As long as you keep going, you use your passion, you will get to the right people and you will get to the right places. And I truly believe that all the passion that you have inside of you has such potential, and you just have to put it in the right place. And even if that takes time and effort, you will get there if you persist. I believe in you, and so many others around you do too. And there's such a supportive community out there as well. So you really need to find those people, those places that are just welcoming you, supporting you fully. And this is just a little bit about Stress Press and our contact information as well as mine. If you ever want any advice or words of encouragement, I am so happy to give them to you. Thank you so much. And that's it from Stress Press Project.
Okay, and sorry I mixed that up. We had one more left. This is our Q&A, and then Empower Her Nonprofit already went. So Front Space, if you have any slides, just let me know and I'll let you share your screen.
Yes, we do have a few slides.
Great.
So hi everyone, I'm Priyamida and I'm the founder of Front Space. So Front Space is a youth-led organization which is dedicated to equipping and empowering young women from underprivileged families to pursue space careers. So I started this organization because I felt personally I felt the need for it, because the place where I come from, space carriers aren't prevalent at all. And so like I never had any role models whom I could look up to, or anyone from whom I could get advice or guidance from. So just pursuing a space career felt like a really far, far away dream for me. And it just felt really impossible for me to achieve something in this field. And that's why I started this organization, and especially catering to those who belong to underprivileged families, because they are the ones who mainly lack resources. And I understood that since even if I was privileged enough to at least find those resources for myself and build a network of people whom I could ask for guidance and just build those contacts. And I understood that I was privileged enough to do that, and that made me aware of how those from underprivileged backgrounds, even girls of my age who are interested in space careers, aren't able to even do what I was able to do. And that's why I started this organization. And our contact info is also provided below. And here are some frequently asked questions those may have for new to passion projects. I don't know what project to work on. So someone might have this question. For them, I'd say that first identify your interests. And if there is a case that you have many interests, like if you're interested in psychology and you're also interested in neuroscience and maybe even art, I'd say that you can list out your interests. And like if you have a various various interests, and maybe you should try like reading different articles, blogs, and like just researching about them, and just find out that which one would be like which one you're more drawn to. And there are also chances where you could like combine those interests. Maybe if you're interested in neuroscience and writing, you can combine those interests and maybe you can write a book. And there might also be a case where you don't know how, like what passion project to start, because like you don't know what interest you have. In that case, I would say that you can search like different subjects, different majors, and just get yourself into it. Find out a list of set of majors and like subjects that you feel like you are drawn to. Just list them out and start researching about that. Read articles, read blogs. Like there are many things online out there, and you will find something that draws you into it, and you will find your interest. And after you identify your interest, you can look into current issues and needs in your community or areas of interest. So for me, I can give my example. So my interest was in astrophysics and space.
And the issue that I found in my community and also in my area of interest was that there was a lack of resources for students who are interested in this field, and especially those who are from underprivileged backgrounds. And also, as I already mentioned earlier, that in my place, space carry isn't prevalent at all. And that's the issue I found. And another issue I found was that there are very few women who are pursuing a career in this field. And that's why I am focusing on this issue. And also, you can try combining that issue with your area of interest and skills. So after determining the issue, I started this organization, which is Front Space, and which is dedicated to empowering young women from underprivileged backgrounds to pursue space careers. And the second thing that I'm doing is I'm writing a book that's specifically for children to spark their interest in space. So I'm also interested in writing. So I combine that my interest in space and writing to write a book for kids. So you can do that. Just you can combine your interest to solve a need in the community. And yeah, you can start a passion project with that. And third, you need to make sure that you have your vision, your ultimate purpose of a project. Like define that, make it really specific. So, and the next is, who is it for? Be specific, your target audience. You have to be like really specific. Who is it for? And like what is it for? Who is it for? What is it for? And what kind of change you are seeking to make? For whom are you seeking to make the change? So again, I'd like to give my example. I'm especially my organization especially focused on young girls of around age group. Their age group would be around like those of high schoolers and middle schoolers. So that's the age group that I'm currently focusing on, and especially those from underprivileged backgrounds. So even you need to niche down your like target audience. That way, like you could bring more efficiency into your project, and that way your project can even be unique. You can your project can even be like focused on maybe your state, your city. That would be a really great project. And then you have to decide on what kind of project you want. So many of the presenters today had youth-led organizations, and also few had magazines. So you can look into that. You can you have to decide on one at first. There are like business, you can start a business or maybe startup or podcast or blog or an app. So yes, but at first you have to decide on your what need you want to, what issue you want to solve, and then you have to define the mission and the ultimate purpose of a project, and like define who is it for, what is it for, and what change you are seeking to make. And after that, you have to decide on what type of project you want to make. And the next frequently asked question is how to get guests for your webinars or workshops, events, and podcasts. So I have there are two options. That is cold messaging on LinkedIn, and the second is cold emailing. So for me personally, the most effective one was LinkedIn. I have cold email to many professionals till now. Oh yeah, okay, I didn't get to mention this earlier, but my organization, we have held 2 workshops till now, and we'll be hosting a space mentorship program in July, which would be starting in the 1st of July. There we have 22 mentors who are students and professionals in the space industry. And that was achieved by, most of that was achieved by LinkedIn, like contacting mentors. So if I cold email a lot of people, but like only 4 to 5 people got back to me, and most of them like couldn't work with me because yeah, that's understandable because they were busy and they're professionals, and that's why it's quite difficult to like get guests for events in your program for your organization because professionals are often busy. And that and when I and then I also go message on LinkedIn, and even that wasn't easy. I cold message to a lot of people, lots and lots of people, lots and lots of professionals, lots and lots of students, and like you have to like put your work in there. Only then you get the results. So there were many who didn't get back to me, who didn't reply back, and there were many who got back to me and who said that they won't have the time to work with me. And then there were also a few who agreed to work with me and they also had the time. So I just want to say that just don't lose your hope just because someone isn't replying back or someone is saying that they can't work with you, because there will always be someone who would agree to work with you and like present in your or for your organization, but or like want to mentor the students in your organization. So just don't lose hope. And just because someone doesn't reply back doesn't mean that there won't be someone who would be willing to work with you. And like I had experienced this, like my first email, so I just emailed to and she was an astrophysicist and she didn't reply back, and I was like, no, maybe I shouldn't do this. I don't think they're like, why would anyone be replying back to me? Like, just don't think that. Just do it. Just give it your all. Just give it your all. Just do everything you need to have. And for cold messaging, I'd say that cold message to as many people as you can. So for LinkedIn, create a good account. You don't need to have many connections, but a few connections would help. And the next frequently asked question is, how do I get advice for my project? So if you're someone who is new at starting a passion project, then you might feel lost. Like if I felt really lost at the beginning, I felt really lost. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to start. I was so confused, and I didn't have anyone whom I could get guidance from. And I wish I had someone who could answer those answers for me for the questions that I had. And for that, I would say that reach out to find founders of other organizations, like the organizations that those that presented today. You could even reach out to them. You could reach out to the founders, and you can reach out to them through LinkedIn, email, and you can just ask for guidance. So I wish I did this earlier, because this can be a lot of help. And even for this, I would say that there might be someone who might not be replying back to you, but don't lose hope again. There will always be someone who would be willing to help you out. So you can ask for guidance in the chat, or you can the coffee chats would be really great. You can get on coffee chats with them. You can just ask for them to like invite them if they'll be willing to come to like 20 or 30-minute coffee chat, and then you can explain your project and you can ask for what kind of guidance you are looking for. And I can guarantee you that there will always be someone out there who will be willing to help you. And just never be afraid to reach out and ask for guidance and help when you need it. And you can just reach out to founders of other organizations or even organizations that relates to your focus. And so yes, thank you to everyone for listening to our presentation, and also thank you so much to ProjectConnect for this opportunity today.
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much for that wonderful presentation. So that was it. Thank you so much for attending, and thank you everybody who presented. I understand this was a little bit longer, but it was so worth it. Everybody gave such amazing presentations, and hopefully if you're watching this will encourage you to do your own passion projects or start your own initiatives and to sort of break free from those barriers. Thank you so much for attending, and we will hopefully see you soon for another webinar. By the way, this will be posted on YouTube for anybody who wants to watch. Thank you.